All right, Squarespace designers, you probably just got an email from Squarespace talking about Finish Layer. In this video, I'm going to show you what those tools are, which ones are new, and which ones still aren't out yet. Okay, I just got an email from Squarespace pointing me to this new page on squarespace.com talking about Finish Layer. Now, I talked about Pro Tools a few months ago. After Circle Day, Squarespace was rolling out what they were calling Pro Tools. Now those are under the umbrella of Finish Layer, and I want to show you what's new, what's been out for a while, and what is yet to come. All right, let's start with what is new. We've got block animations, block transforms, and Z-axis control. Let me show you what that actually means. Let's start with block animations. Okay, I am here in a Squarespace template, and let me show you what a block animation does. I'm going to keep this simple, but play around with it so you can understand everything that it does. So this is an image block in a fluid engine section. The things that I'm showing you today, fluid engine only. Go ahead and click edit on the pencil icon. And now we have a new tab here. It used to just be content and design. Now we have animation and we can set a trigger. So what I'm going to do is set the trigger to be on hover. It could be a lot of things: on appear, follow, on press, loop, on scroll. I'm going to do it on hover, and I'm going to have it jump like that, which, granted, it's extreme, but I want to show you how it works. Let's go ahead and hit save and exit. Now when I come down and I hover on this image, it's going to jump. Now the cool thing is you can see it's jumping across sections, which I think is nice. You can actually still see the full image. It's not hiding behind here. So that is a really great feature, something I was worried about. Like I said, there are all kinds of other animation triggers and animation events you can do, but that's how to get started. All right, next up, we've got block transforms. So we can now change the opacity and rotate, scaling and skewing blocks. Let me show you how that works. So let's choose a text block for this one. So now I'm going to go into edit, and you'll see there is a whole new section here called transform. So I can make this 80% opaque. I can rotate it now, let's say 30 degrees. Let's do minus 30 degrees. In my brain, that was the other direction. Let's scale it. We can make it a little bit smaller. And you don't have to do all of these. You can do one or the other. We can offset it. We can skew it. So let's do 5% x-axis and 5% y-axis. And you can anchor this. It used to be the position, but I'm going to anchor it top left. So it's going to live here. You could also, actually, I don't like that. Let's do center left. There we go. So that's what you can do. You can skew, rotate, lots of things to different blocks. Okay, so far we've got text, image, button, form, shape, and product blocks that you can apply these to. So again, this is only Fluid Engine sections within Squarespace 7.1. All right, Z-axis control. This is something that I talked about before. It's really just the layers panel. So for example, if we drag this here and we go to layers, we can move this below the image and it's behind it. So that's all that is. It's Z-axis is what you call it in CSS coding, but really it's just basically whether it is in the foreground or background. That's all it is. But a handy new tool for sure. Okay, we've got enhanced site customization. First is more precision. Now that's what I showed you here with the offset and the anchor position. So that's what they're talking about here with more precision. And font file uploads. I have a whole video on custom fonts in Squarespace. It's so easy now. So I'll drop a link to that below if you want to check out that video. And we also have block hiding on mobile. Talked about that in another video, but let me show you because it's so fast. Basically, in mobile view, you can go to layers and you can hide something from mobile view, or you can hide it from desktop view. So this used to require code. It doesn't anymore. Now you can choose what things appear on mobile view and what things appear on desktop view. Super easy. And we also have overrides. So customizing block characteristics on individual device views. So it used to be that when you made a change to a button, for example, here, let's go into this and we're going to go to design and we're going to make it fit. We can now go to mobile and make that fill. And here you can see you can push it to desktop or reset all overrides. So we can have it fill in one and fit in the other. This gives you a lot more flexibility as a designer. I know there are times that I want to use different button styles for mobile versus desktop. So now we can do that. Really handy. And what's not here yet? Stacks. This is something we've been waiting for since it was announced at Circle Day in September of 2025. It's not here yet. You're going to be able to essentially arrange space and align multiple blocks together as a group. It's not really grouping the way I think about it. It's a little different, but it's going to be cool. And the thing that it's going to fix is, I don't know if you've had this pain, but so many times when I have dealt with a button and text on a screen and my screen gets shorter, the button is really close to the text, and then my screen gets larger and the button just kind of flies away. Of course, it's not doing it here when I'm explaining this, but if you're a Squarespace designer, you know how the button will drift, and Stacks should fix that. So that alone, I'm excited to have it. And beyond the layers panel now, you can right click anywhere. Let me go into edit and right click. And now we can duplicate a section, save a section, arrange, show the grid. So these used to be keystrokes or going into the menus. Now we can do that just by right clicking when you're in edit mode. Also a huge new feature that's amazing. All right, let me leave you with this. Just because you can, should you? Remember when Squarespace rolled out the scrolling block and suddenly it was on every Squarespace website? I fear that that's going to be the case for the transforms, the animations, all of this. I think a touch here and there can really elevate a design, but be judicious in how you're using these new features because they could quickly become overwhelming to your user. And I just want to give a shout out right here to the OG, the classic editor sections. If you're feeling like, as a Squarespace designer, that suddenly you've got about 2 to 3x more clicks to do to design anything in desktop and mobile, the classic editor is still there for you, my friend. If you don't need anything fancy, it still works. So if you are working really quickly, you need to get something up and running, don't forget it's there for you. But do let me know which of these new Finish Layer Pro Tools features you are most excited about in the comments. And when we get stacks, I'll make another video. Thanks so much for watching, and I wish you all the best with your website.